Today we fight for Aron Swartz, who killed himself whilst in custody in the US after defeating Soper and Pippa. Was a good success, you know. People stopped. People come to the streets all over Europe, Portugal. I can remember it quite well. Aron was facing, I don't know, 30, 50 years in prison. He obviously saw no future in his life, so he'd rather die with some sort of honour rather than be incarcerated for the rest of his life and whatever, or even compromise himself and go over to the other side, to, you know, as the guy who what was his name, Adrian Lamo, who put Manning in the seat. You know, I don't know if Snowden is NSA, if he's intended, if it's for the television, for the media, if it's part of some big play out. But I know that the powers that be are scared of us. They are scared of the people waking up at a rate of level. You know, the UK column daily, 1300 hours GM Greenwich Mean Time. It's there, you know. Patrick Henderson, 21st Century Wire, 5 to 8 o'clock Sundays. You can tune into these on Facebook. The pages are on Facebook. I know that the people who are watching, you know, they're monitoring us. Okay, they're monitoring us. But you know how many it takes, how many supercomputers it actually takes to, like, monitor all this stuff and go through it. I saw a post earlier on Facebook, and there was a document with, like, I don't know, it must have been thousands and thousands of sheets of paper, you know, stacked up on a trolley, on one of these trolleys which you push like a stack of boxes in. You know, it would take a normal person, I don't know, it would probably take a fast reader, it would probably take them a year to read these documents. You know, and this is what they're bringing into law. You can't possibly. It's like the agreement, what you sign every time when you sign an agreement to agree to the terms of the thing. You know, you go through there. There's like page and page and page. Goes on and on and on. In the end, you just think, fuck, I can't read no more of this. So you just scroll down to the bottom of the page and just tick the box. Yeah, I understand the things. But, you know, in there somewhere it says we take ownership of all your material which you think. We can do what we want with it. We can send it to who we like. We can be who we want. We can, you know, you have no rights. You just signed them all over to us. Aron Swartz, he died for a cause which, you know, they're trying desperately to stop. They're trying desperately to stop this cause continuing. You know, you can tell by the war on the poor in Britain alone. All this austerity, yeah, they're plaguing money to Syrian refugees now. 600 million. The bankers have reportedly been bonused to the tune of 80 billion. So, like, all this money's clearly available. You know, that you've got this dinner club with Cameron, who, you know, is 50 grand to join, and then you've got the privilege. So there's obviously plenty of money around. But it's this war on the poor. You know, it's back to the class war, isn't it? It's back to them. They're better than us. They're better than us. They want the classes back. You know, David Cameron keeps talking about this big society. In my opinion, the UN, NATO, you know, the Grey Wolf, read Grey Wolf, yeah? It's quite plausible. We know that history is basic fiction, all fiction. We've not, whatever we've been told is basically lies. We've basically been lied to all of our lives. Hitler escaped to Argentina. The Nazis never lost the war. We never won the war. All that happened was the war ended. The Nazis escaped to America, where the U-boat captains became captains in the American Navy. You know, the scientists went over all their technology on mind control, on eugenics, which had been going on for probably 100 years from, colonised Africa. You know, the Germans were doing genetic engineering, breeding the blacks and the Germans, to whatever ends. I don't know. I don't really understand. There's so much impossible to understand it all. But all we can do is try to make a difference. You know, Phil Snyder in the 90s, who this stuff sounds crazy. You know, he in Dulce, New Mexico, where he drilled down into this, went down. There was already an alien base there. I mean, is it information, misinformation? Listening to the tapes. I mean, he died after a couple of years with him coming out. I don't really understand if it's misinformation or if it's genuine information, but he seemed like a genuine geezer to me. You know, Richard Hall started with Edge Media when, and UK Column are now putting out this stuff. A lot of this stuff was from the different stuff. There was one programme I remember, now that's weird, Ross Hemsworth, I think this guy was called. I'd like to see some more of his stuff, because I remember one show that he did when he had an airline pilot on who was of a small sort of Cessna type aircraft with about 9 to maybe 15 passengers on board. Well, they saw this huge triangular craft somewhere be above Jersey and Guernsey. Now, the pilot sort of radioed it into the air traffic control, whatever the protocol is for what pilots do. Well, the passengers on his boat also see this large vehicle. Well, there was another plane in his view. He could see this other plane. Well, this other plane the pilot, it collaborated. This stuff has disappeared. It's disappeared off the net. It's disappeared off of the TV. It's not available to us. We're getting the Facebook. The Facebook is totally being controlled. My posts do not get to everyone. I don't know. Every time when I like something, I'm getting up. Do I like Obama? Obama has 38 billion likes. I do not understand this for 1 minute. I don't understand how he gets. Mine, Cameron, has only got 39,000 likes. But there's no dislike button, because I can guarantee if there was a dislike button, Cameron would be in the millions. 60 million people in Britain, and I'm guessing at least half of them would have a dislike comment for this guy because he's a parasite, complete parasite. The politics in the UK is a complete farce. It always has been. Just that our ancestors, they didn't have the internet. All they had was the TV. And why would you believe that the TV, the good old BBC, would lie to you? Why would you believe that it was propaganda? You know, we fought in this war. You know, we never had this. Somehow the Rothschilds had the technology to know that the Wellington had won the Napoleonic War, but the carrier pigeons or what? But somehow to manipulate the stock exchange so that he could force everyone to sell up and buy it all back and pennies on the dollar. This is the power of these people. They go back hundreds, maybe thousands of years. Bloodlines, all these bloodlines interlinked. You know, Bill Maloney just a few weeks ago issued the statement that he has evidence of Leon Britton being a paedophile in Scotland, where Brian Greene 12 months for handing out leaflets. They only kept him for about 3 months because apparently the prison couldn't handle it. They prisoned him in Scotland. Now we hear this independence of Scotland, this splitting up the country. Divide and conquer. Remember, there's only one rule they have, which is divide and conquer. It's been the rule from day one. They only need the one rule. They only need the one ring to rule them all. Why, right, would Hollywood produce the Lord of the Rings? It took over 10 years to produce it, right, from a book Tolkien writ in the 50s, which Johnny Todd says for sure the runes in the book are definitely witchcraft, yeah? Which, I don't know, but John Todd was saying this in the 70s. But what I've been trying to figure out is why would you make the Lord of the Rings 10 years before you make The Hobbit, which is the pre-seed of the thing? I notice they do this a lot in movies these days. You know, the vampire films, is Evolution, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, where the vampires and the Lycans go head to head, yeah? But the first movie comes in time, then it goes back in time, and then it comes forward in time. It's like these people are telling us what real history is, you know. Count Vladimir Dracula was a real person, was of aristocracy. You know, we know from the stuff Bill put out last week, these people are monsters. They've been trafficking in kids. You know, they've been trafficking between these islands, these Guernsey and Jersey, all these royal-owned islands for however many years. You know, Savile had the keys to all the hospitals. Savile could do what he wanted. Why? Well, in my opinion, you know, it's not a fact. I don't know. There's so much out there. But when I looked, because I never knew what the black nobility was, but it was when the aristocracy split from the Pope, from the papacy, whatever you call it, yeah? When they split, the aristocratic families were known as the black nobility, yeah? They couldn't get rid of them. Well, one of the families of the black nobility that was disappeared was a name Savile, basically, with a Italian pronunciation. Now, this is the only thing that I could figure out in my tiny brain, which is why this guy had so much power for decades, basically, because he obviously, you know, and it's all coming out. The police are corrupt. Michael Doherty is fighting case after case. I don't understand where it's going though, because we know the police are corrupt. We also know the courts are corrupt. It's QCs, Queen's Counsel. They can't go against the Queen. They can lock us up for being against celebrities, against the Queen, for telling the truth, basically. Just for telling the truth. You dare to speak out against what we believe to be true, what we say history is. The Bosnian pyramids, which were discovered in 2005. No one's heard of them. They ain't been on no news. They ain't been on no programs, no coverage. They ain't been nowhere. They've been, no one hardly knows about them. But the fact of the matter is that physicists have taken modern technical instruments, and from the top of that pyramid, they have measured energy coming in. And the real weird thing about this energy is the further away from the pyramid it gets, the stronger it becomes, saying, well, only that the power is coming in from outside. When the people enter the tunnels underneath these pyramids are filled in with a rubble. It seems like that an earlier civilization built the pyramids out of concrete, which we can't even replicate today, and then were filled in by a later civilization to suppress the energy, to suppress the technology, the ancient technology, which has been suppressed for thousands of years, I'm guessing. But when Nikola Tesla had the Wardenclyffe project up and running back in the early 20th century, Wardenclyffe, JP Morgan backed him. Tesla was a celebrity. He was kind of, I don't know, Lady Gaga, or I know the Justin Bieber of today. The celebrity culture, people used to flock to see Tesla. It was this sort of celebrity culture we got today. Well, back in them days, it was the people like Tesla and Schumer and Edison and those people who were breaking ground with the technology. Breaking ground of technology. Once JP Morgan, another bankster, who has more wealth, them banksters own 90%. It's not to make them well, but to kill them. It's eugenics, all these rich people. If you notice, all these people die. Anyone that could have been anyone dies in either in an accident, a plane crash, a car crash, assassinated, a plane assassination, whether it's with an umbrella or of a heart attack. Come on, these people have the technology. 9/11. Anyone that believes that an aeroplane flew in to those buildings and brought them down and leveled them, the doctor why was the building opposite, which they fellows broke the story on the G4S on the Olympics, because my guess is that there was supposed to be a false flag in 2012 to link in with things. But if you notice, all this like Nostradamus stuff. Nostradamus predicted that in the year 2000, two metal birds would fly into two towers in the then capital of the world, which would have been Paris, and completely change history. Little time machines, real, not real. There's a lot of films out there now which, I don't know, all these films are all about these time machines. How did it? I'll tell you what, it was a little way out, was Nostradamus, but it actually happened, didn't it? 12 years out, two towers, metal birds, flew in, destroyed it. These people are running scared. The Bushes, Prescott Bush, IG Farthing, whatever. Someone corrected me the other day on Facebook. The Nazi airplanes could not fly without this additive that they patented. Like the big pharma have patented all the natural ingredients, the plants, which we can use to heal ourselves. Yeah, we don't need them. All this whole system is a farce. It's not real. They're bringing in this warlike, this police state, which is happening everywhere, I guess. And these revolutions, which are starting off as, I'm guessing, as real revolutions, then get infiltrated by undercover secret services, and God knows what these people have been promised, or are they just like 33rd degree Masons who have like sworn this allegiance to the Knights Templar or Knights of Malta, and in fear for their lives, or they think they're actual gods. I mean, but the lower down police who are policing the streets, surely they can't all be like in the club. They can't all be promised, because, guess what? You're part of the 99%. You're going to be going when they cull this world to the under 500 million like they want. Then you're going to be part of it. The people that are going, not just us. These people have no power without you enforcing it for them. And the neuro-linguistic programming which you are being taught, which you don't even understand. People don't understand watching television. Alters your mind. It affects your subconscious brain. Yeah? These games you play, Grand Theft Auto, Medal of Honor, all this shit, yeah? These are training the kids of today to be the slaves of tomorrow. Got no conscience, who are in playing a video game, who are actually directing drones and blowing up and killing real people and probably getting medals for it and getting, just like a video game. I'm 46. I've seen this technology grow and grow around me. There's no. The earliest ones we had was those little watch clock Mario ones. We had those in our day. Yeah, they'd just come out when I was at school. Little LCD things. Far away from, even if you just go back 20 years to the SNES, to the computing system was 64 bits. Even just 10 years ago, the first Wi-Fi computer, Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs was a hacker. Steve Jobs didn't want this. He didn't want Apple to be this thing which is outpriced by everyone. He wanted everyone to have a computer. But the first Wi-Fi computer worked on 64 megabytes, which is unthinkable now. The Apple computers they're producing today, they go up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's unthinkable now. 64 MB will not even function on today's web. You're being stopped. If you go through your browser, try to connect to certain sites, your government has deemed this not safe for you. Well, they've been saying, anyone that knows the truth about marijuana, 400 or 500 years ago, you were threatened with jail if you didn't grow hemp, because hemp was used for everything from rope to paper, all sorts of things, and also the medicine, Run from a Cure, Rick Simpson, all this stuff which has been suppressed, and as the generations die out, gets forgotten, gets wiped over, and then these cretins rewrite history. They kill off the people that are trying to spread the truth, the real true people who don't want to see this world the way that they want it to be, because it will never be like that. It will never become what they want,
because there'll always be a fight. But now they're outlawing the freedom of speech. You're not allowed to go to the street anymore because, have a guess what? The likes of Alex Jones and David Icke, David Icke came out, I'm a son of God and all that. Everyone thought he was a freak, yeah? That was just preparation. David Icke was always part of the club, yeah? That's why he lives on the Isle of Guernsey, Freemason state of the world, I guess. Where all this Hope de le Grand stuff went off. Since his TPV, what, £300,000? How long was it on air? 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know who Sonia Poulton is. I don't know if she's real. I don't know if she's a shill. I do not know, but she brought relevant things. The UK column has been going a lot longer, and it's with no money. It's by thing. They don't need all that money. Why? It's an illusion, just to fool us into thinking that the reality, this glam lifestyle of bullshit pop culture of fucking fake diamonds and big cars and big money, It's just an illusion. A car's a car, gets you from A to B. The world has become smaller. In the last few hundred years, the world's become a much smaller place. It's become a smaller place, and they know this, yeah? That's why they fight against, UKIP are going to... Well, Farage was in the EU addressing these bankers who got this status from who knows where. They're just appointed as the leaders of countries of Greece and Portugal, these countries that have failed to meet their debts. And then you saw this rioting in Turkey where the police, who are these police? Are they really Turkish police who are being so hard on their own people to smash them about and like, well, you will. This is Nazi Germany. Can you not see it? Can you not see that what's going on? What's going on is normal people. There must be normal people within the security services, within the police services. Annie Masham, David Shayler, were they brought out for a reason, or are they real people? Jacob Applebaum. I don't know about Julian Assange, whether he was involved in this cult and he was chosen. He was chosen, and he was put... I don't know. But he's trying to do the right thing. Bradley Manning was trying to do the right thing. They're locking up these people. They're locking up the hackers for longer than the rapists. It's okay to nonce a kid. It's okay to fucking rape a woman. This is not okay. They're locking up hackers longer than the rapists and the child molesters. And you know why? Because they are the child molesters. They are the rapists. They are the dirty, evil scum who they're trying to portray, hackers as the threat to our world. They're not the threat to our world. The threat is the establishment. The establishment which has stood for hundreds, if not thousands of years, altering our perception of reality. And reality is not what it seems. That's why they want to close this net down. The net was for them. But guess what? The people caught on quick, didn't they? You had the likes of Steve Jobs, yeah? Who they had to take out of being the CEO of Apple because he lost money, because he wanted to do it exactly as he wanted. He didn't know bullshit. He didn't want to put the nice looking machine. He wanted it nice on the inside, like his dad had taught him, because his dad was a woodworker. He fixed the wood so at the back, you could look at the back of the fence and it was just as good as the front of the fence. Steve Jobs prided himself on it. And you know what Steve Jobs said in his biography? He said if Bill Gates' ambition was to be the richest man in history, then he succeeded in his dream. But that is all he succeeded, because he never really achieved nothing else. And now we have this Gates Foundation. He's the richest man on the planet, and he's content. And have a look at the Georgia Guidestones. This is reality, people. Who commissioned them? Try find out. You find nothing out. Money speaks. All this money is going around. Yet they're telling us the poor need to switch off their heating. Stop eating. Stop, bedrooms you don't need. What is going on? Wake up before it's too late. This isn't a practice run. This is reality. Yeah, we're at war. We're at a war for our minds. It won't stop here until we hit critical mass. In the UK, we need a few million to hit the streets this year. They're gonna try and dampen our spirits with this weather, with this flooding of the part of the country. Maybe even a big freeze yet to come. Who knows? We had snow last year in May. It's been unheard of for I don't know, since records began. And yet the summer was the best summer I can remember since '76. So anyone who tells me that these chemtrails and whatever they're spraying into the atmosphere isn't controlling the weather, well, take a look. There's a lot of stuff around. Yeah, some of it's BS and some of it's real. But I guarantee you, yeah, you can look, because you never saw. When I was a kid, there was the contrails. I remember watching as the aeroplanes